Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the live spoiler discussion for Eyes of Wakanda. I hope you all have been having a good week, good weekend. So, as usual, we'll go over our thoughts of the series for the first maybe 15 minutes or so of the stream. While we do that, put your thoughts about the show in the chat, along with anything else you want to discuss. Once we're done giving our thoughts on the show, then we'll just be here chatting with you guys until there's no more chats to be chatted. I'll say just one more time, there will be spoilers for Eyes of Wakanda in this stream. So if you have not seen Eyes of Wakanda, and you care about spoilers, and this is not the stream for you. But if you have seen Eyes of Wakanda, or if you just don't care about spoilers, then stick around and yeah, listen to our thoughts and join the conversation. I'm joined by my co-host Joe.
Hello, thank you for having me again.
And yeah, so overall, I thought it was pretty good. I think episode 2 was easily my favorite. Then episode 3, then 1, then 4. Although 3, 1, and 4 are close. 1 and 4 are closer. I think 3 for me is the clear better of the 3, but then 1 and 4 are a little closer together. I thought the action was really great, and the story in episode 2 especially made me like feel something, and I was connected to it. Episode 1, I wasn't as connected with the characters, but the action was really good. In all the episodes, the action was really good, but I think episode 1, the action was especially good, but I didn't get as connected to the characters. Episode 3 was fun, but it kind of shared the same thing with episode 1, where the action was really great, and it had fun moments, and it had slightly better character beats, which is why I put it over episode 1, but I also never really got fully connected to the characters. And then episode 4, I felt was the weakest. It kind of just, I felt like he just came and went. The time travel stuff just happened, and then obviously, you know, the series is over. There were rumors way back when, like, the show was first announced about there being time travel elements. So I knew that going in. I had that thought going in, but after the first 3 episodes didn't have any time travel, I figured there wasn't gonna include time travel, but you know, the last episode did, and it was still fine, but it didn't grip me as much as the other episodes. And I was thinking about why I like the art style of the show a lot. I like the painterly art style. I think it looks really nice, and the action scenes are really well animated, and overall the animation is not bad. I'm not trying to dog on the animators at all. But I was trying to figure out, why am I not really connecting to these characters? What is it about this that I'm not connecting to? Whereas something like Clone Wars, for example, I connect to immediately, other than the fact that, you know, I'm a big Star Wars guy, and there's sort of a previous connection to those characters from the movies. And as I was watching, and this is a similar issue I had with the What If animation, I felt like the face animation doesn't match the vocal performance. The mouth does a lot of the heavy lifting. They'll do animation with the eyebrows and slight animation with the eyes, but it's not... Exaggerate is the wrong term, but that was the first term to come to mind. It doesn't fit a voice performance. Vocal performances, voiceover, you're usually exaggerating your words more because it's not live action where you can show the subtleties. And the voice acting in the show is good. It's not the voice acting. I feel like the face just gets stiff, and for a lot of the moments when characters are talking, the top half of their face doesn't move. Just the mouth will move up and down, and some slight shape keys for the mouth. But especially the middle of the face. The nose and the cheeks won't move at all. And won't move in tandem with the eyebrows or the mouth. I understand that might be difficult to do, so I'm not trying to, like, dog on the animators at all. But I think as I was trying to think of why I'm not connecting to the characters as much, I think it's that. I think it's the fact that when a lot of characters are talking, it's just the mouth like kind of moving up and down with slight adjustments to the actual formation of the mouth, and then very small eyebrow and eye animations with very plain animation for the rest of the head. But like I said, the action was really good, and that's the best part of the show. I totally get why they dropped this show all at once. This isn't a show that I would have been necessarily excited to watch week after week. I still would have, and I think I still would have enjoyed every episode, but it was much more exciting to watch all at once. And I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's pretty much it. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts on Eyes of Wakanda?
Yeah, personally, I have a bit of a different ranking. I would say that episode 2 was the strongest. I would put that significantly above the other episodes, but for my 3, I would put episode 1, episode 4, and then episode 3 personally for the rest of the list. Just because episode 3 I felt like I could not connect to the main character at all, and this whole storyline of it, the only hole or only allure of that episode was the fact that Iron Fist was in it. Even then, we didn't get to see too much of their powers, and personally, I just felt like it was wrapped up in too much of a neat bow for my taste and my liking. Whereas the other episodes, I just felt were a little bit better. Had a bit more payoff, just for me, as far as the episodes go. But yeah, as far as the animation goes, I thought some of the shots looked so beautiful, and they really did Wakanda justice. You know, this breathtaking land. I really felt that with this animation. I remember when we were watching, my first thoughts was that it reminded me of Clone Wars / Arcane. I don't know if anyone has seen Arcane, but it reminded me of that. And that in those shows, I found it very easily to connect to the characters, but I felt the most easiest characters I was connected to, I don't know their names from memory, but it was the main character in episode 2, Memnon in episode 2, and the main villain in episode 1, because his mission felt a lot like Killmonger's mission. So I felt it was going to be something bigger with him, even though it ended up, ending in that episode. It reminded me of Killmonger, and I really liked that. Yeah, the action, like you said, was, I think, the strongest of the show. I think that it's like What If action, but a little bit more polished, a little bit more updated and evolved. All around, I think it was really good, but yeah, at the end, the time travel stuff did sort of lose me, but how it came together in the end was kind of like, oh, that's pretty nice, and it made me want to rewatch the first Black Panther, even though I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, it's a good point about the Iron Fist thing. I really like the Iron Fist stuff, but we didn't really get a lot of it. It took about half of the episode, maybe a little more than half the episode, to even have them use their powers. Which is, it's not an Iron Fist show, so it's not like the biggest issue in the world, but that is fair. The overall, it was solid. It's not super groundbreaking, but it's fine. If if you want to watch 4 30-minute episodes of an animated show set in the MCU, then this isn't a bad time. I don't know if it's something I'd put on the top of my list to recommend to people, but that's okay. But let's see what our poll is at for what you guys thought of Eyes of Wakanda. If you have not voted already, vote on the poll. The 4 options, because YouTube polls give maximum of 4 options. Bad, meh, good, and amazing. 0 votes for bad and meh, with 6 votes total. 33% of the votes for amazing and 67% for good. And that's what I would vote too if I was allowed to vote on my own poll. I would put it in the good category. And that's all it needs to be. All right, so we're going to shift over to the live chat here. So if you haven't already, put some chats in the chat if you want us to give our thoughts on it and talk about it. And like I said, we'll be here as long as you guys are here chatting. What's up, Hasm? How's it going, man? Thank you for tuning in. The art style gives Arcane. I have not seen Arcane, but Joe said the same thing. It's a very nice art style, for sure. At times, it looks like a kid show. It did, and I don't have an issue with that necessarily. I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I don't have an issue with it looking like a kid show. And this isn't an issue. It's more of this is more of a nitpick than anything else. But the violence felt inconsistent. Most of the time, they would cut away when someone gets killed or stabbed or something. And I understand, like, if it was a kid show, I understand. It did get distracting after a little while. But then they had some moments where we full-on saw, like, an axe be stuck into a guy's head or knives being thrown into someone's chest. And it felt a little inconsistent in that sense. Not a super bad thing, but it was something that I noticed. I do think it should have been more episodes. I don't know. Each episode was kind of its own anthology thing, so I think it would have been more episodes if they had more stories to tell. I'm sure there were more ideas and more episodes, but you know, not every idea is gonna get made, right? You gotta weed out the not great ones. So I don't know. I don't really think it needed to be more episodes, but I also didn't love it as much as some other people that I'm seeing online. So maybe that's why. Do you have any thoughts on that, Joe?
I don't know if it needed to be more episodes. I felt that in that final episode, I thought they were going to tie each episode together, but really they only tied something from the episode itself together, and I don't know, I felt like the other episodes almost felt a little bit useless if they were going to do something like a tie-in with that finale. But maybe if it were more episodes, more of it could have been fleshed out, because we do see some of the characters mentioned or come back in the next episode, which is really nice to bring it all together. So maybe if it was like a longer show, it would have felt a little bit more rewarding.
I also think each episode being its own thing, it was both a good thing and a bad thing. For episode 2, like, the whole story fit there, but other episodes, I think that's kind of why maybe I didn't get as connected to the characters, was just because there wasn't room for that. They had to get through the whole story for that episode within that time. So maybe a couple more episodes would have helped that. Maybe it wouldn't. Who knows? Loki should have been an animated movie. I was thinking that in the first episode, not knowing that each episode was going to be its own sort of self-contained story. Once each episode was its own self-contained story, then I understand why it wasn't an animated movie. I'm very open to an animated movie, though. I would just hope that if they do an animated movie, then that the face animation would be more than it has been in their shows. But I'm very open to an animated movie in the MCU. What's up, Noel Gonzalez? Thank you for tuning in. To have you here. Welcome. Says, I finished Eyes of Wakanda episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'm up to finale episode 4. Nice. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Thomas Bennett, welcome. Nice to have you here. Have you seen the Spider-Man Brand New Day stuff photos? And Hasm says, what are your thoughts on all the brand new Day stuff? And then Thomas says again, the first Spider-Man Brand New Day teaser copied the Batman teaser. I don't know if it copied the Batman teaser. Was the Batman teaser just the red thing? I don't remember which one you're referring to. If you're referring to the red photos, then it's not really a copy. It's become, maybe the Batman maybe set the standard of doing these costume reveals before filming, so you get ahead of the set leaks. But Superman also released a costume reveal. I don't know, copied, but yeah, Joe, what are your thoughts on the all the Brand New Day stuff?
I absolutely love all the Brand New Day stuff that we're seeing. I am over the moon for how the suit looks. I love it. The only sort of nitpick that I would have would be, I'm a big fan of him having the bug back symbol, and the fact that he doesn't have that is slightly disappointing. But the fact that it's like a 1-to-1 suit from the comics, from like John Romita senior days, is like everything that I've wanted and more, and I cannot wait to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, I gotta admit, as someone who, with all the rumors and everything, with Hulk being in the movie, and with Punisher being in the movie, Punisher being a PG-13 movie, I wasn't super excited for Spider-Man 4. Just, I'm not a Hulk fan, and I'm a big John Bernthal Punisher fan, so I'm concerned about how he's gonna work in a PG-13 rating. But, man, that suit reveal and seeing the Seth photos yesterday and today, it did reinvigorate my hype. I think it just reminded me how much I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Last time I watched any of his movies, it might be over a year ago now. It's been a while since I've seen any of his movies. And his Spider-Man is one of my favorite live action characters. I connected to that character more than most other superhero characters I've seen. So when that costume reveal video dropped, and even before he like walked out of the shadows, just when the music played, like I was already getting a little emotional just because of it. Hit me like, wow, like it's been a while, and it just kind of reminded me how much this character, this particular Spider-Man, means to me. But the suit is absolutely fantastic. It's everything that the main Spider-Man suit should be. And I don't know if you feel the same way, Joe, but thinking about it, I'm actually kind of happy that we didn't get this suit in the beginning. Since the intention was to do an origin trilogy instead of, just an origin movie or whatever, I don't know, part of me is like, if this suit was in Homecoming or Far From Home or even in No Way Home for most of the movie, then we wouldn't be getting it long term. And we don't know if we're getting this suit long term, but it's being so well loved by people and so well received that I think they kind of had no choice but to do it long term. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that? I like the previous suits maybe more than you do also, so maybe that has an impact on it.
I just really, really hope that they keep the suit. I'm very happy with this suit. I'm very happy how it came out. If there are any changes, I hope that it's minor changes just because he's gotten better at
Sure.
his homemade suits. But I really hope that this is the suit that they keep long term, because this, in my opinion, has topped what was my favorite live action suit previously, was the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, and I think this cleared the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit very easily.
Yeah, my favorite live action Spider-Man suit is Tobey's black suit. I think it always will be. But out of like every suit that's not that, this is definitely the best one. I think the only variations we'll see to Tom's suits would be a symbiote version of this, and maybe a bombastic Bagman. Maybe, I don't think so, but maybe. But then he'd go, back to this suit, and maybe Future Foundation if they ever, Sony ever allow a Spider-Man to be with the Fantastic Four, which I pray for. But I think those would be the only variations and different suits that we would see for Spider-Man moving forward, which I think is really good. And yeah, I'm loving what we're seeing so far. From the set photos, Mr. Negative is pretty much confirmed. Scorpion is confirmed to be in the movie. That's exciting. So I'll say this. I'm more excited than I was 3 days ago, because, like I said, it reminded me how much I like this version of Spider-Man. I'm still not excited for Hulk being in the movie, and I'm still cautious about Punisher being in the movie. But if they can make it so that it's not distracting that Punisher's in a PG-13 movie, then I think I'm gonna especially like this movie, because of the fact that Bernthal's Punisher is my favorite casting for any comic book character, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man is up there as well. So gonna see them interact. Them interacting is gonna be great regardless. It's more so, is it gonna be distracting that Punisher's in a PG-13 setting? SMR Goose, just want to say hi. Driving back at Comic-Con. Can't message, but listening. Thank you for listening, SMR Goose. Drive safe. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you had fun at the Comic-Con. How do you think Frank and Peter are gonna fight Hulk? Well, there's rumors that Frank is driving a tank. Maybe even the tank that is in the set photos. So maybe something to do with that. It's possible Frank also gets the War Machine armor. I hope he doesn't. I had no interest in seeing that. Peter fighting the Hulk, I think it's going to be more just trying to web him down and also just web people out of his direction. What do you think, though, Joe? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, when people say fighting the Hulk, they usually think it's going to be like a brawl, they're going to throw hands, but I think it's more so just trying to minimize the destruction rampaging Hulk would cause and trying to calm him down at the same time.
Right. I agree. What do you think the Superman sequel should be? I don't think it should be anything. I think it should be whatever James Gunn wants to tell and whatever the story necessitates. Cannot wait for Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Vision Quest, X-97 Season 2, Spider-Man Champions, Moon Knight Season 2. Moon Knight Season 2 is not confirmed and honestly probably isn't going to happen at least anytime soon. I think the likelier Season 2 is Hawkeye right now. But everything else, well, I haven't seen Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but everything else I'm also extremely excited for. This is a really good age of the MCU we're coming up on. My next main MCU video is going to be about that. I might go back and finish my recast ranking series. I made 2 videos. I have 2 more videos left because I'm going to do the villains. Here, I have villains that I ranked, and then there's just I think one more video for like the leftover characters. I might go back and finish that before I do any actual Muppet videos, because I might have to start from scratch modeling everything, because when I try to animate the video that I wanted to release with either this past week or this following week, the video I was planning to, I animated a little bit, rendered it to test, and it was so off sync. And I think that's just because my computer couldn't handle the file that I was animating, and so I might have to start from scratch, unfortunately. So it might be a little while until any actual like puppet videos show up on the channel. I'm trying to figure everything out, but yeah, the future MCU looks really, really bright, and I'm really excited. What movies do you think is the best post Endgame? What do you think is best post Endgame movie? I think for me, so the top 4 for me are in hot takes. My 5th one is gonna be a hot take. I'm gonna do my top 5 just because there's been a lot, and I think most of them are pretty good. The 5th one is gonna be a hot take, and I'm gonna let you know that right now. I think the best MCU movie post Endgame is No Way Home. Then it's, why am I blanking on what was what the second one was? Yeah. No Way Home, Guardians 3. After Guardians 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. After Deadpool and Wolverine, Thunderbolts. But those could be close. I need to rewatch Thunderbolts. I really like Thunderbolts, but 3 Deadpool, Wolverine, then Thunderbolts. And then, this is going to be a really hot take, Thor: Love and Thunder. I am one of the few people who really like that movie. What is your favorite MCU movie post Endgame, or favorite X amount of MCU movies post Endgame, Joe?
I'd say it would go, for me, I'll do top 3. No Way Home, but I am biased towards that one. Thunderbolts. And then this one is my hot take, Captain America: Brave New World.
I didn't really like Thunderbolts that much.
I think it's genuinely like one of the best projects that they've put out, even pre-Endgame.
Yeah, I think it might definitely be top 10 for me. Well, maybe not top 10 because Captain America, and it's up there though, definitely up there. There's a lot of MCU movies. Do you think they're gonna do any twist with RDJ not being the actual Doom? Yes and no. I think he'll be the actual Doom for... Well, what do you mean? The actual Doom is tricky wording. Because in Doomsday and Secret Wars, he's playing Doom, and I think he's going to be the Doom of 828, since they teased that, you know, Latveria being in Fantastic Four and the post-credit scene. But I think once Secret Wars is over and there's the new MCU timeline post-Secret Wars, I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is that Doom. So, like, I guess technically he yes, being the main Doom in Doomsday and Secret Wars, no being the main Doom post-Secret Wars. Which movie do you think was better, Superman or Fantastic Four? Superman, but that doesn't mean Fantastic Four is bad. Yeah, Fantastic Four I still really enjoyed, but Superman is just one of the best comic book movies ever. And expecting to get two of the best comic book movies ever back to back is insane. Fantastic Four decided to be good, and it was. What 2026 movies are you most excited for? Doomsday, number 1. Oh, there's a lot of good movies next year. Doomsday, number 1. Purely on the basis of James Morrison and Cyclops being in it. Obviously, there's a lot of other factors. Like, that movie is easily number 1. But even if the other factors weren't there, just on the basis of James Morrison and Cyclops being in it, it'd be my number 1. Then... I believe this movie is going to move to 2027. But, as of right now, it hasn't. So after Doomsday, Dune 3. Then Mandalorian and Grogu. Supergirl. Spider-Man. What about you, Joe?
My most anticipated is definitely Spider-Man.
Over Doomsday?
Oh yeah, by a fair margin, I would say. Especially with these set photos.
But this Spider-Man is probably going to be in Doomsday too, with the same suit.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the main focus.
True.
Yeah, so Spider-Man would be my top. Then I'd probably say Mandalorian and Grogu. Then Supergirl, and then Doomsday.
Okay. Who's your welcome? Nice to have everything tuning in. Says Multiverse of Madness was PG-13, and we saw Wanda nuke someone's head. True, but there wasn't a lot. It's tricky, right? Because yeah, she like imploded someone's head. She blew up someone's brain from the inside, right? But there wasn't a lot of blood and gore with that. We saw, like, the blood trickled down the nose, his eyes got red, but like his head didn't literally explode. And we hadn't seen Wanda in a R-rated project prior, so we're used to seeing her in PG-13 stuff. With John Bernthal's Punisher especially, we've seen him now in 3 separate projects, all of which are TVMA, and all of which he gets incredibly violent with his kills. Especially his most recent one with Born Again, and even before Brand New Day comes out, his special, which I'm assuming is going to be at the same level Born Again, if not even more gory and gruesome. So I'm just concerned that going from that to a Spider-Man movie is going to be distracting. That's my concern. What's your ranking for the MCU Fantastic Four? It's hard to say because it's only been one movie, and I've never been a huge fan of any of the characters besides Johnny. I'm gonna rank them just based on like how much I like the actor in the role. That's kind of that equates to how much I like the character since it's only been one appearance so far. I'm gonna go Pedro first. So Reed first, Sue Storm second, Ben Grimm, and then Johnny. Johnny and Ben are kind of tied, honestly. I think the writing for Johnny was the best it's been, but I felt that the performance was stiff at times, and he wasn't as free or as loose with the role as Chris Evans was, which makes the performance Chris Evans I like more, and I felt like there's room to improve with the Johnny performance, whereas the other 3 I feel like it's already like perfect. What about you, though, Joe?
I'd say for me it would be Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm.
Mhm.
Would be my top. Johnny Storm would probably be my second. Pedro's Reed would be my third, and then Ben Grimm, I feel, would be my fourth.
What video games would you want to see that's set in the DCU? I don't really have any wishes for DC video games, honestly, especially ones that set in the DCU. I want them to tell the stories they want to tell in the DCU and not force anything. So I don't really have any wishes there. What were your thoughts on Ironheart? It was good. And that's about it. It's not something that I plan to revisit outside of big universe marathons. But it wasn't a bad time. It was an interesting choice to make Riri kind of unlikable throughout the show and end on the cliffhanger that they did. And I think that brings it down because I wasn't rooting for Riri at all. I love the performance. I thought she was great. I think she's great. Dominic Thorne is great as Riri. But I was not rooting for the character once throughout the entirety of the show. And that is an interesting choice. I'm not saying it's good or bad choice. It didn't work for me, but I know that people really like the show. What are your brief thoughts on Ironheart, Joe?
I think the strongest was the first half of the show, and it sort of lost me a little bit in the last half. But I'm still excited to see more of her character and more of like what's going to happen with other characters in that show as well. But yeah, it did start to lose me a little bit in the second half for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Want upcoming shows in the MCU future? Well, luckily for you, there are plenty of shows in the MCU's future with Vision Quest and Daredevil Boarding at Season 2, Wonder Man, X-97 Season 2, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, Marvel Zombies, just to name a few, and then there's going to be more after Secret Wars that just haven't been announced yet. What are your thoughts about MCU Galactus? I thought he was great. I thought he looked great, sounded great. He was Galactus. He wants to eat worlds, and he wants Franklin Richards. That's pretty much all there is to Galactus. Yeah, I thought he was great. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I thought he was perfect. I thought that's exactly who Galactus is and exactly what he should be like. The only thing is, I really wish we would have seen him morph his body, or change his body size. I forgot exactly what that term is, but I wish we would have seen him do that, just so that the mainstream audience would know that that's something that he could do.
That's fair. Who's your Wonder Woman and Batman fan cast? Wonder Woman, I'd love to see Adria Adrona from Andor. And Batman, I want Alan Richardson. Top 10 MCU villains? I don't know off the top of my head. That's too hard to do at the top of my head. What are your thoughts on Zootopia 2, GOAT, Mortal Kombat 2, and Tron Ares trailers? I've only seen the Mortal Kombat and Ares trailers. Tron Ares looks good. Mortal Kombat 2 looks like a fun time. Enzo, I apologize if I pronounced the last name wrong. Pacino? I definitely pronounced it wrong, but thank you for tuning in, Enzo. I appreciate it. Welcome. The MCU has a bright future. It does indeed. It does indeed. And I'm really excited for it. I don't want to jinx anything, but we low-key could be looking at a golden age of comic book movies and shows. Nostalgia-wise, not for us, like, since we grew up with the Infinity Saga, nostalgia-wise and just, like, pure hype-wise and feeling-wise, that's going to be the peak for our generation, for us, because we grew up with that. But in terms of just pure, like, quality and consistent quality and ratio of quality projects to amount of projects that release, I mean, with DC now seemingly being right on the same level as Marvel, and both of them being pretty high level, I mean, we really could be looking at a golden age of Marvel comics, not comics, Marvel adaptations and DC adaptations as superhero adaptations in general, and it's really exciting. Top 3 Superman actors: David Cornsweet, Tyler Hoechlin. They're tied. And then I love Jack Quaid in My Adventures of Superman. What about Nova Show and Ghost Rider Show on Disney Plus? If those are the best ways to tell stories for those characters, sure. Whichever format tells the best stories and works best for the stories you want to tell for those characters, I'm down. Didn't see Jurassic World Rebirth, and also didn't see Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, or F1. Did you see K-pop Demon Hunters?
I did see K-pop Demon Hunters, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but it is a very K-pop type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not into that, I wouldn't recommend it if you're not into musicals as well. There have been friends of mine that aren't really into musicals and don't like when they burst out into dance and song, and that movie is very much that. So I wouldn't recommend it to people who don't like that type of things, but yeah, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it.
Understood. What are your thoughts on the Fix trailer? I have not seen that. I honestly don't know what you're referring to. Thoughts on Ballerina? Haven't seen Ballerina, so I can't give thoughts. I'm gonna see Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four first steps on Disney Plus soon. Fantastic Four probably won't be on Disney Plus for a while. Thunderbolts should be soon though, because the DVD just came out this past week. Yeah, they're both really good. I highly recommend. I think Fantastic Four is better than Thor: Love and Thunder. That's totally fair. And after I rewatch both of them, I might as well. I've only seen both of them once, but I just remember the feeling coming out of Love and Thunder. I liked it more than Fantastic Four. Not saying Fantastic Four is bad. I want to clarify that because I know the general opinion on Thor: Love and Thunder is not great at all. I just really like it. I'm a big fan of rom-coms and romance movies, and I think Thor: Love and Thunder, not only was it hilarious and did great on the romance side of things, but the also like the dramatic parts, the emotional beats with Jane, I thought were also fantastic. I haven't seen it since theaters, so maybe when I get around to rewatching it, I'll feel differently, and maybe when I get around to rewatching Fantastic Four, I will think it's better. But I really like both of them. I had more of an emotional response to Thor: Love and Thunder. It just was more my taste, being mostly like a rom-com, which is my favorite genre of movies. What are your thoughts on the Marvel Rivals Blade skins? I think they're all trash. I'm not gonna lie. I love Marvel Rivals, but I'm gonna be honest. The shop skin, I don't know what the actual name is definitely the best of the three. What I'm calling the Lakers skin, the white, yellow, and purple one, is fine, but I just don't love Blade in white because I just always see Blade wearing the black and red from either the comics or the black from the Wesley Snipes Blade. And the comp skin for Blade is actually terrible. Like, it might literally be the worst skin in the game. I'm not gonna lie. Blade, as the gameplay wise, though, looks fantastic. I go for Spider-Man Brand New Day first, and then Avengers Doomsday. Fair enough. Do you think Pete will get the Venom suit in Secret Wars? I do indeed. How, what the story's going to be, I couldn't tell you, but I think he does. I think you agree, right, Joe?
I do agree, and I really hope that... My concern is not if he will get the suit. I think that's like 90% he's going to get the suit. My concern is, like, what will they do for the pose, for the iconic pose? Are they going to do it in like an alternate poster? Are they going to do it when he gets the suit? Or are they not going to do it at all? I really hope they do it.
I hope they do it too.
I personally really hope they do it.
I do too. What upcoming Marvel game are you most excited for? What are the options? It's a Black Panther Captain America game.
Tokon.
Tokon and Blade.
I guess Wolverine as well.
Oh, Wolverine, right, duh. I wouldn't count Spider-Man 3 yet, even though we know it's happening, but...
Right.
I guess Wolverine. It's Insomniac, and they made great games, and it's X-Men. Before, when I wasn't remembering Wolverine, I was going to say the Captain America Black Panther game, just because I like Captain America a lot. Tokon looks great, too. I like funny games like that, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to like the style of Tokon, since I'm so used to the style of NetherRealm fighting games. And I've just never been a big Blade fan, so I'm not super excited for that game. Is there one that jumps out to you, Joe, that you're most excited for?
Right now, I'm leaning towards Blade, because I just feel like the gameplay and story of that just interests me the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see, because I love Black Panther, I could see the Captain America Black Panther game also being up there.
Thoughts on the long story short trailer? I have not seen it, so I cannot give thoughts. What do you think is the best comic book movie of this decade? The Batman. The Batman is like, it's top 5 for me of all time, and the only ones above it are pretty much the Captain America movie. Honestly, might just be Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War. Might be the only movies above the Batman. Across the Spider-Verse is up there. Superman is up there. But for me, it's almost definitely the Batman. Because the Batman is not only just one of the best comic book movies ever, it's just one of the best movies ever, in my opinion. Yeah, so for me, it's the Batman. What is it for you, Joe?
For me, I would say it's Superman. And
really?
then it would probably be the Batman. Yeah, I enjoyed Superman significant.
And both of those more than Across the Spider-Verse?
Across the Spider-Verse, I think I really like Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
That would be the contender. But Across the Spider-Verse, you could tell it's a good movie on its own, but it's definitely incomplete without Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
I mean, that's just how it is. It is a to be continued. Whereas the Batman and Superman, I feel, are complete stories and stand on their own. Into the Spider-Verse, I think, is a contender as well. But
it's not in this decade, though.
Spider-Verse,
yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that's pretty on brand for us, though, for mine to be the Batman and for yours to be Superman.
Yeah.
What's up, Terrell Thaddeus? Welcome, man. Nice to have you back. Thanks for tuning in. It says, sorry that it came in late. No worries, man. Appreciate coming in at all. How was Eyes of Wakanda? Because I really like what they did in this show. I thought it was good. I have some issues with it in terms of just the facial, the performance animation. So I could never really get attached to any of the characters. But the action was really good. I love the art style. It's a fun, good time. You know, if you want to spend about 2 hours watching an animated show set in the MCU, and if you're a fan of Wakandan lore, then I say check it out. It's pretty good. Yep, and K-pop Demon Hunters broke a new rating record that Netflix never seen before. They are already considering a trilogy. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Joe, what's your favorite K-pop Demon Hunter song? Hasm asks.
Ooh, probably Free or This Is What It Sounds Like or Golden. Those are my top 3. But probably Free.
There you go. What do you think is the best Marvel Rivals in? Ooh. Do you know one off the top? Is it going to be Black Suit Spider-Man on the top of your head? I can't think of one off the top of my head what the best one is. Or what my favorite one is.
Marvel Rivals skin.
Yeah. I feel like if you look at the list.
One.
I don't want to be biased just to characters that I play. Although, arguably, I'm just more biased towards the one that I play because I play them. Do I get banned if I say Malice? I don't think that's the best one, but that is a good skin. I just pulled up Rivals Meta, where it has just the list of all the skins. That one's... I don't know. Like they kill it with most of their skins. Even the ones that are mid are still really good.
I'm very biased because it's Venom, but I'd say the blue Venom skin from the beta.
Really?
Yeah, I love that skin.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's literally just Venom but blue, but I love that skin.
Fair enough. Oh, there's so many good ones. But for the best? I don't know. That's difficult. That's very difficult. I'm just scrolling through them all trying to decide. Okay, I am going to say the best skin is. I'm going to say it is a tie between the Cloak and Dagger Twilight duo skin, which a lot of people have nicknamed Drip and Swagger, and the Vengeance Psylocke skin. I think those are my. If I had to pick two, those are my two favorites. But there's so many good ones. Absolutely so many good ones. Who would you want as the DCU Flash, and who's your fan cast? I want both Wally and Barry to be Flash. I want there to be two Flashes in the DCU. I don't have fan casts for either one. The closest people say Lucas Till for Barry, who played Havoc in the X-Men First Class and X-Men Apocalypse. I think he'd be great as Barry. So I guess I'll go with that. But I don't really have particular fan cast for either of those characters. Captain America Black Panther game is being helmed by the Uncharted 2's writer and story director. Oh, I didn't realize that. Or maybe I just forgot it if I was told it. That is really cool. And that makes it more hype. Does that change your answer to that question, Joe?
Oh yeah, very much. That goes way up.
Yeah, that's actually really hype. That's just one of the greatest games of all time. Uncharted 2. What do you think is the best remake of the decade? I honestly couldn't name you a remake off the top of my head other than the Naked Gun movie that just came out that I haven't seen yet, but I really want to see. Yeah, I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head. Which MCU movie do you think has the worst CGI? I honestly am not going to answer that question because I try to keep it as positive here as possible, and I don't. There are certain shots in movies that aren't great, but also I'm not a stickler for CGI, and bad CGI has become something that the internet just automatically complains about just for the sake of complaining. For me, as long as I can understand what's going on visually, I'm okay. Do I prefer, obviously, good CGI or bad CGI? Yes, but I also understand that VFX artists are incredibly overworked and underpaid. So it's okay if not every CGI shot is polished. So I am not going to answer that. Top 3 superhero costumes of all time? Off the top of our heads. Toby black suit. All right, I'm gonna be a little tricky with this one. Toby black suit. Captain America Civil War suit. And the blue bat suit from the Batman suit display in The Flash. Off the top of your head, Joe, can you think of 3 favorite super costumes of all time?
The Spider-Man's new suit in Brand New Day.
Okay.
Tyler Hoechlin's first Superman suit.
Like the classic homage one?
The classic homage
Okay,
suit.
okay.
And I want to say the Batman suit as well.
I thought that too.
I really, really love that suit.
Yeah, that crossed my mind too. What upcoming animated Sony film are you most excited for? I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse. I don't know if there's another answer, honestly. That's just arguably one of the most anticipated animated films ever, let alone being a Sony one. So Beyond the Spider-Verse for sure. I mean, it's not the same, but my answer will change if you call this an animated film. Do you count the Infinity Castle movie? Because it's being distributed by Sony. I know it's anime, but if you count that, then it's the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie.
I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse is exciting.
I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse is exciting, but it's freaking Demon Slayer, bro. It's Infinity Castle. It's like, and it's all that big budget, big screen, and IMAX. Woo! Yeah, gotta be it. I'm assuming for you though, it's Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally. Do you think they should tie Matt Reeves' Batman to the DCU? No, not at all. I am super against it. If they end up doing it, like I'll accept it and I'll go in with an open mind, obviously, as I always say to do, because it means that James Gunn believes it's the best decision. But also, James Gunn has said that Matt Reeves doesn't want that to happen. So if Matt Reeves doesn't want it to happen, then like let him do his own thing. I also really just want Batman in the DCU to be fantastical and to really be comic booky. Matt Reeves' Batman is the best of Nolan. I feel like Matt Reeves' Batman does what Nolan wanted to do with Batman better than his own movies, in the sense that it keeps Batman grounded and realistic and grounded in reality, while also not being afraid of being a comic book movie. The Batman is the best Batman movie so far, but I want to see a Batman who, like, fights fast, who fights a giant dude made of clay, who fights a giant crocodile. You know, like, I want fantastical Batman. I don't want a non-fantastical Batman in the DCU. If Matt Reeves' Batman was in the DCU, it would be a non-fantastical Batman. But the biggest thing is Matt Reeves doesn't want to do it, so I don't think that he should be forced to do it. Who do you think should be the big bad for Chapter 1 of the DCU? Impossible to say, because we don't know what the plan is. We've seen 2 movies. Or we've seen a movie and a show. And we only know a handful of projects. Your hottest Marvel take? My hottest Marvel take is the MCU is still pretty damn good after Endgame. People just grew up, have been on the internet more, and have become more negative about things, which has caused people to be more sour on the end. I'm not saying every project was good. I'm not saying every project was great. I'm saying there are definitely valid criticisms of the MCU post Endgame, 100%. Not saying it was perfect at all. Not even saying that any of the phases were better than Phase 3. But what I'm saying is the MCU post Endgame is still good. People have just gotten more negative by being online more. We don't appreciate enough and don't talk about how lucky we are that Infinity War and Endgame released before the internet started getting really negative. And I think we're about to see that possibly with Doomsday and Secret Wars. Do you have a hot Marvel take that you think is your hottest Marvel take, Joe?
I prefer the first Thor over Thor Ragnarok.
That is a hot take.
Yeah.
Top 5 live action Superman suits? I can't name one of those off my head, honestly. I don't have a ranking. Need to play Marvel Rivals? It's a great game. Highly recommend it. It's free. Really good. What upcoming Star Wars movie are you most excited for? The only one that has been filmed, which is The Mandalorian and Grogu. Starfighter is definitely coming out. I think they start filming in like a month or two, so I think they're almost definitely making that movie. But with Star Wars movies, I don't want to get overexcited for them until they're actually filming and are going to come out. Mandalorian and Grogu is the only one that is filmed and ready to come out, with Starfighter on its way. And that's going to be good too, but Mandalorian and Grogu. Who do you think should join Daredevil's army? The real answer is Spider-Man. Not going to happen because of Sony. So the real answer after that is just the rest of the Defenders. Honestly, not Moon Knight. We didn't see him in New York at all. So that'd be kind of out of left field for the world. Echo, maybe. I think the character is cool, but the show was just fine. So I don't have any huge interest in seeing her again, but I wouldn't be disappointed. But that's about it. Like, I think it's enough if it's Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. I think that's enough. Which phase do you think was better, Phase 4 or 5? When did Phase 4... What was the last project of Phase 4? When did Phase 4 end? Phase 5 ended with Ironheart. When did Phase 4 end? I don't remember. I feel like Phase 5 was also much shorter, so it's at a disadvantage on that front. Phase 5, though, also has both Thunderbolts and Deadpool and Wolverine. So it has that going for it. They're kind of the same, honestly, off the top of my head. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when Phase 4 ended, but I think they're kind of the same. Favorite post-endgame character? A lot of new characters post-endgame. Favorite post-endgame characters? Probably Yelena. John Walker's up there, though. But I'd probably say Yelena. Do you have a favorite post-endgame character?
Can I cheat it and say the variant Loki?
I'm gonna veto that one and say no.
Okay. B-15.
Really?
I think she's a standout.
You're crazy. That is wild. I think the actress is great in other shows, other stuff, especially Lovecraft Country. I know it starred Jonathan Majors, and it's unfortunate now, but that show is absolutely fantastic. She's great in that, and she was phenomenal in Sinners. I think she's the weakest part of Loki. What's up, Hijack? How's it going? Nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says, which MCU character would win Big Brother? Which MCU character would win Big Brother? There's an argument to be made that a Tony Stark character would win Big Brother because he'd play a similar game to Dr. Will. There's an argument to be made that Peter Parker would go pretty far just on the basis that he's smart, but he's also very likable. I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. Your thoughts on the Gen V Season 2 trailer? I think it looks cool. I'm excited for it. I don't have any fan casts for Teen Titans and Bat Family, honestly. All my fan casts for Bat Family and Teen Titans have aged out of the role, so honestly, my fan casts are the best actors they find for the role. It's a superhero costume trendy thing is really annoying. I don't have one. I'm not someone who complains about things as frequently as most people online. I think the criticism about suit over design, sometimes it's warranted. Most of the time it's not. People don't realize that if you just do straight colors without any kind of design variation, it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look like the Halloween costumes from the episode of WandaVision, which are fine for those episodes, but you know, main costumes. And nanotech is kind of valid. I don't hate it as much as most people do, though. So, do you have any costume trends that you think are really annoying, Joe?
I mean, I would say it's all just nitpicking stuff.
You know what? I'm going to say not giving the actors a P zipper. That's a trend that's really annoying. You were saying, though?
I would just say if there was one, I don't really like how muted some of the colors on certain suits are. I do think it's fine to brighten them up a bit, but it's not a deal breaker. I'm not going to say that the costume looks terrible because it has muted colors or anything like that.
And I think that's also changing for the better. I saw someone make an edit with the new Spider-Man suit, and to have Andrew Garfield's colors, and it's like night and day. I think. I don't think you. At least I didn't realize. Maybe you do because you've seen it more than I do. But I didn't realize how muted is the wrong. It's not muted, and it's not like extremely muted, but for lack of a better term, how muted Andrew Garfield's colors were in comparison to the new Spider-Man suit. And I just prefer brighter colors on my superhero suits. So,
I think that the red on Andrew Garfield's suit is really nice, but I think the blue is the killer.
100%.
The blue on the new one is so nice, and
100%.
in comparison, everything else looks muted in comparison. Yeah.
Fan cast for MCU X-Men. Since they're going for non-A-list actors, I don't have any. Same with Teen Titans and Bat Family. Whoever is best for the role. There's some superhero movies that are just bad, mainly live-action Green Lantern movie and Sony's recent live-action Spider-Man movies without Marvel. I haven't seen any of the recent ones, Sony's movies. I saw Venom 1 and Venom 2, and that's it. Venom 1, honestly, I'll be honest, Venom 1's a fine movie, not a good Venom movie. Venom 2, you could argue it's a bad movie and a bad Venom movie, but I actually had it's just, if you ignore that, like if you go in knowing that, it's actually low-key kind of fun, but it's not in like a way where the movie's actually good. It's more just fun because Woody Harrelson is in the movie. And I'm about to take, I don't think Green Lantern's bad. I think Green Lantern's just borderline mid. Not as good as it should have been, and it's not without its faults. It has a lot of faults, but it's just borderline mid. It's fine. It's fine. It's nowhere near the top, but it's also nowhere near the levels of like the Sony movies or Catwoman or Daredevil. Like it's just fine. But also the discussion was about bad CGI, Thomas Bennett, and not just bad movies. What's a comic panel you'd want to see recreated in a Marvel movie? I don't want to say I only have one. There's tons of X-Men ones, but the main one right now that I just really want to see is Doom ripping out Thanos' spine. I think that is just a moment that would solidify Doom as like, oh, you gotta take this guy seriously. Because I understand assuming that everyone just knows who Doom is, and we're obviously going to get a Doom flashback in the movie somewhere, probably with Void, but you still got to show that he's a formidable threat, right? And having Doom rip out the spine of Thanos, the big bad of the previous saga, does that. Do you have a panel? You already mentioned the Secret Wars pose, the black suit pose. Do you have a different panel that you want to be adapted and recreated in a Marvel movie?
There was... I don't know if this counts necessarily because it's like multiple pages technically where he did this. I guess there is one panel specifically, but there was one moment when Spider-Man's suit either got damaged or ripped to shreds by some battle, and Daredevil lent him his suit, and there's just one panel of him flipping across rooftops wearing the Daredevil suit. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool. Top 5 post-Endgame shows. Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm going to specify Loki Season 2. Daredevil Born Again. Actually, if you count X-Men 97, even though it's not mainline MCU canon, then I put X-Men 97 first. I'm going to count it. X-Men 97, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki Season 2, Daredevil Born Again, WandaVision. What about you, Joe?
I'd probably go Loki Season 2, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Daredevil Born Again, Hawkeye, and then WandaVision.
Do you think the MCU has a color grading problem? No! And this is what I mean about the internet complaining just to complain. They don't know how filmmaking works. I'm not saying you has. I know this is a common complaint online, which is why you're asking it. No, the MCU, if anything, has a lighting problem. Most of the issues that people actually have with the color or the look of Marvel projects and superhero projects in general is actually just the lighting and cinematography and has nothing to do with color grading. People mention Captain America Civil War, especially with color grading. They haven't watched that movie then. They're just regurgitating things they've seen online because those suits are colorful. Can they be more colorful? Sure. Yes. And arguably they should be, but they also work really well for the tone of the movie. But a lot of the things that people say is color grading problem, it's not a color grading problem. It's a lighting problem. It's just bland and uninspired lighting and cinematography, which they are now fixing with things like Thunderbolts, Daredevil Born Again, Fantastic Four, and it looks like Doomsday based off of the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts. It was never a color grading problem. If anything, it was a lighting and cinematography problem. It's a Marvel comic design that should never be adapted in live action. Oh, I don't know. I don't read enough comics to say that, honestly. Do you have one at the top of your head?
I don't.
Actually, I have one. The red Cyclops suit. I don't like that suit. The red Cyclops suit I'm not a fan of. Almost any other Cyclops suit I'm cool with. The 90s one I like. The all-blue one I like. The blue one from 2019 I really like. And the current yellow one I really like. Don't like the red one. Who do you think should be Spider-Man's love interest for the college trilogy? I'm a Gwen Stacy guy, so I'm gonna say Gwen Stacy. He's gonna have a love interest, and he's gonna end up with Michelle, with MJ, and as he should. But low key, I'd be fine with him not having one. Because they're going to eventually do MJ. So if they don't have a love interest in Spider-Man 4, bring MJ's memories back. Bring MJ's memories back in Spider-Man 5 with Secret Wars. Just say that's what happened. And then Spider-Man 6, they get back together. I'm honestly cool with that. Do you have a different opinion on that?
Felicia Hardy, I think, would be the fair choice. But I think, yeah, like you said, he ends up with MJ in the end. But I think Felicia Hardy would be the best choice right now.
I wouldn't mind her either. I think she could work for like a Spider-Man 4 or first half of Spider-Man 5. Just like a, for lack of a better term, like a fling. But she kind of just sticks around as like Spider-Man's friend is not the right term, but occasional colleague. What's a Marvel game you really want to happen? X-Men. No. Yes, X-Men, but actually over that, Daredevil. I want a Daredevil game. And I think I think we talked about this before, and you're the same, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We just need to recast as Tony and Steve. Recast two people that aren't huge names. That's all they need to be. I don't have any fan casts because they should recast people who aren't names. What is a what if that you would have loved to be a what if episode? I'm gonna cheat because this was never gonna happen because it's... I mean, it's animated, so they technically could have, I guess, but I would have loved to see... It's not a what if, like, in terms of comics, but it's just an alternate story. I would have loved to see, What's the Doc Ock Spider-Man one?
Superior Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man. But that's kind of cheating, because that was never a what if. Do you have any that you would have want to see in episode?
What if... Did they ever do what if the other half got snapped?
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be mine.
Yeah. Alan Ritchson as Hyperion. I think he'd be great as Hyperion, but I honestly think that'd be a bit of a waste, honestly, just because I don't know how much Hyperion would be used. In my opinion, other than Alan Ritchson being like Batman or Aquaman or Shazam, which all three I think would be absolutely perfect, the best Alan Ritchson comic book fan cast is Venom, Eddie Brock. Which I hope they do. I hope post-Secret Wars, they figure out something where they can just use any Spider-Man character they want, and they go, oh, let's actually do Eddie Brock properly, and then get Alan Ritchson as Eddie Brock, which is, like, peak casting. Because not only does he have the size over Tom Holland, he's just... Well, no, he has the size over Tom Holland, and he is a great actor. Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about that as well a lot, about Alan Ritchson as Venom.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be peak.
I think it would be as good of a casting as, like, RDJ's Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think Peter should join the Future Foundation in the MCU? Yeah, I do. Not for a long time, but I would love him to team up with the Fantastic Four and join the Future Foundation. Do you think so? Do you want that to happen?
If they do the Future Foundation storyline, then yes. Yes, for sure.
What do you think of the top 3 Iron Man suit designs wise? I don't really have a preference. I'm not an Iron Man fan, so the suits kind of all blend together for me. They all just look like Iron Man for me, so I'm just kind of like, if it looks like Iron Man, like, sure. I'm just not an Iron Man fan. You like Iron Man more than I do, though. Do you have a ranking of top 3 Iron Man suits?
I think that this is going to be really niche and odd, but I think his classic Iron Man suit is just the best. But the Superior Iron Man would be my second. Now, the third one is the niche one. There's this comic where it's an alternate universe where him and Thor, like, merge together, and they have this suit that's like both... He's holding, like, a giant Mjolnir hammer, plus he's wearing the Iron Man suit. I think it's one of the coolest designs. That was just like a sort of throwaway one. I think that would be my third.
There you go. Top 1 movie score of all time: Revenge of the Sith. Any Star Wars movie fits, and then any Lord of the Rings movie fits. Do you have a favorite movie score of all time?
Ooh, I don't.
Okay.
I maybe Loki's. Maybe. Oh, I guess that's not a movie.
The fire theme,
Unless
though.
it shows up in Doomsday.
Yeah. Just looked this up, but Mark Bernardin, who worked on Eyes of Wakanda, is a part of the writing team of the Black Panther and Captain America game. Oh, that's cool. I think that could be really cool, especially fleshing out like the lore and the world of Wakanda. That could be really cool. That could be a really good addition. Who do you think should be the Batman 2's villain? Impossible to say because we don't know what the story is at all. So it's impossible to say. Live action Green Lantern movie is historically bad that even Teen Titans Go to the Movies made fun of it. Well, yeah, but no movie is definitively a bad or a good movie. I think that's just wrong to say for by anybody. And what I mean by that is, and look, I use the term too. Like when I talk about Kraven and Morbius and whatnot, like I will call them bad, but you also have to acknowledge that there is someone out there who has seen Morbius, who has seen Kraven, who has seen Madam Web, who has seen, insert X movie and insert X show here, that like it. And vice versa. There are people who have seen Endgame. There are people who have seen the Batman. I know someone who has seen the Batman and didn't like it. So just because a movie is widely accepted to be good or bad, it doesn't mean it is good or bad. We know people who don't like Superman. Crazy. But like that, they're entitled to that opinion. Whether or not I disagree with it is totally a separate thing. Yeah, Green Lantern is not accepted to be it's widely accepted to be a bad movie, and like I said, it's not even close to being one of the best. But it's not the worst. It is just borderline mid. Teen Titans Go make fun of it. Yeah, they did, and it was funny. They made fun of a lot of things because that's Teen Titans Go, and Teen Titans Go is peak. But there is always someone who dislikes the movie and show, and there's always someone who likes that same movie or show, or book, or comic, or poem, or song, because that's just how, or comedy, because that's just how art is. Just super subjective. MCU Miles Morales fan cast? I don't have one. I honestly think they should cast someone who is unknown and is of both Black and Puerto Rican, right? Yeah, Puerto Rican descent. Someone who's Black and Puerto Rican, because Miles Morales is, and that's a big part of his character. What do you think is the worst Marvel movie and show? I'm gonna just go straight MCU because I haven't I haven't seen every single movie that has come out, and I'm gonna change the terminology from worst to my least favorite because, like I said, every movie and show that someone likes or dislikes, there's also someone who is the opposite. My least favorite MCU movie is The Incredible Hulk. I'm not a Hulk guy. Never have been. So that is my least favorite MCU movie. My least favorite MCU show is probably Secret Invasion. Seen the trailer for Mr. Beast's animated show? I have not. I hope we get a Marvel Knights movie. Imagine Daredevil team of Punisher again, and with T'Challa continuation of Chadwick Boseman and others that can be new Defenders. I think we're going to get a... is Marvel Knights different than Midnight Suns? When I read that, my mind went to Midnight Suns, but Marvel Knights is different. No, yeah. Oh, Marvel Knights, is that... Ah, yes, okay. Daredevil's team. Ah, I see what you're saying. That could be cool. Honestly, maybe they're even called that in Born Again Season 2 or Season 3. But that could be cool. I'd be down for that. Joe, what's your favorite Arcane song? Hasm is asking.
I don't remember a lot of the Arcane songs. The only one I can think of notably is the intro music in the intro song.
What's your ranking for the upcoming Marvel movies based on excitement? How many are... There's just 2 right now, right? I mean, we know X-Men's coming up, but we don't know anything about it. There's only 2. Well, I guess Secret Wars, so I guess 3. So I guess I'll go reverse order of the release. Secret Wars, Doomsday, Brand New Day. I'm going to guess for you, Joe, it's Brand New Day, Secret Wars, Doomsday?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Gotta remember, Sadie Sink is going to be in Brand New Day. She is, and she might end up being a love interest. There's a rumor, though, that she's someone else, and there's going to be a twist with her character, so who knows? I don't think she'll be love interest long-term, though, either. I hope we get an MCU Red Wolf in the future of the MCU because he's a badass character. I don't know who that is, but I hope for your sake he is introduced because you seem to be a fan, but I've never heard of that character. Red Wolf, Marvel. Yeah, I've never heard of that character before, but I hope he is introduced for your sake. Since you want him. Who do you think should be the villain for Spider-Man 5? Kingpin. That's gonna be my answer for every single Spider-Man movie until it happens. Daredevil and Spider-Man versus Kingpin. All I want. That's all I want from a Spider-Man movie. What's your ranking for the live-action Fantastic Four suits? Oh, I don't have a ranking. I think they're all good. I don't have any complaints about any of them except for Fan Four Stick, and I don't count those as actual suits. I think they're all good, equally as good. Do you have a ranking?
I'd say the new ones are probably my favorite.
Okay.
But as far as ranking goes, no.
Henry Cavill's Hyperion can work as well. I get the urge and the instinct to say that. I think it's a little boring just because of how meta it is, and that's kind of the only reason why it's a fan cast. It wouldn't be a bad fan cast. It wouldn't be a bad casting at all. Don't get me wrong, but it's more just kind of like winking to the audience, like, get it? He was Superman, and now he's evil Superman. So I wouldn't complain about it, but I don't know if I necessarily want that to happen. What do you think Doom is going to do with Franklin? I think Franklin is going to be one of the ways that Doom creates Battle World, and I also think to parallel that, Franklin is going to be the one to reverse Battle World and create the new timeline post Secret Wars. Jacob Elordi as Tony Stark Iron Man? No, I honestly don't see that at all. I also think he's too big of a name. And post Secret Wars, they especially want to start keeping budgets down, and that means not casting massive A-listers for a lot of the roles. And especially a role like Tony Stark, who he won't be as big of a role as he was in the first saga of the MCU. I think I don't see the casting. I think Jacob Elordi is a really good actor. I genuinely do. I think he's a really good actor. I just don't see him as Tony Stark, and I just think he's also too big of a name to do it. Oh, looks like we're lagging a little bit. I'm gonna keep talking though, because maybe we're still live. My live stream is way behind. Okay, no, okay, we might be good. Keep going. Let me know in the chat, guys, if it ever lags or freezes. We can all agree that the spell from No Way Home is only temporary, especially post-Secret Wars of a Peter Parker never existing. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think post-Secret Wars, I think that could be the explanation for why Michelle Jones and Mary Jane, Michelle Jones, why MJ remembers and gets her memory back. I don't know if Secret Wars is going to totally wipe it away, though. Do you have an opinion on that, Joe?
Honestly, they could go either way.
They could go either way.
They could keep it, and just based on what happens in Brand New Day or what happens in Secret Wars or whatever, whoever knows, but it's still in effect. So even though he's essentially helped save his universe, no one still knows who he is, so he still has to deal with that coming home. I could see the appeal for that. I could also see the appeal of, like, Peter Parker still exists, which makes his life easier, yet they still don't know who he is and don't remember what has happened between them, regardless. So it could go either way.
Yeah. What are your top 3 movies in 2027 based on excitement? I don't have a ranking for that. That's too far away to know, because no one knows really if anything's going to be moved. Do you think that Dynamic Duo movie should be set in the DCU? No, I do not. Because it's not. It's going to be a fun movie, but it's not the quote unquote correct origin for either one of them, Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm all for a new take on the origins for characters set in alternate universes, not the main timeline, but the main timeline, they should have their comic accurate origins. What are your thoughts on new web shooters? I like them. I like practical web shooters like that stick out. Your thoughts, Joe?
I also love practical web shooters that stick out. It's some of my favorite.
Yeah. Lino the Tenno. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Welcome, nice to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Says, wish we got Beta Ray Bill and Ragnarok. I honestly am not super informed on Beta Ray Bill, but I obviously I've seen since Ragnarok that people have wanted Beta Ray Bill to show up in the MCU. And purely on the fact that a lot of people want him to show up, I hope he does show up soon. So people that are fans of Beta Ray Bill get that experience. I have practically no exposure to the character. So I don't really know how that even works lore-wise. But I hope for you and for the rest of the Beta Ray Bill fans that he shows up relatively soon. Let's see if this... No, we're still dropping frames for some reason. Was it gonna... Okay. Think we're good again? I think it fixed itself. Bring the Star Wars chat back up to double check. Yeah, okay. Apologize about that. I don't know why that happened, but we are back now. So to answer this question, ranking for live action Star Wars shows, from my most to least favorite, Ahsoka, Mandalorian. Make sure I'm just remembering them all. Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Kenobi. Ooh. See, I want to say Skeleton Crew next, but the last 5 episodes of Andor Season 2 are so good. I want to put Skeleton Crew and Andor on the same level. Book of Boba Fett, Acolyte. I think that's all of them. I don't think I missed one. Do you have a ranking for the Star Wars shows? Live action Star Wars shows?
Tough to say. I'd say I'll give a top 3.
Okay.
Mandalorian, I'd put as number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka number 2. Andor number 3, I think.
Okay. What's your ranking for the 4 seasons of Daredevil? From most favorite to least favorite, and even my least favorite, still an incredible season. Season 3 of the Netflix show, Born Again Season 1, Netflix show Season 1, Netflix show Season 2. I'm going to guess that yours is the same, just flip the Season 1s.
Sorry, what was your ranking?
My ranking was Netflix show Season 3 is the best. I know you agree with me on that one.
Yeah.
Then Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Netflix show Season 1, Netflix show Season 2.
Yeah, just flip the Season 1s.
What are your top 3 live-action Captain America suits? Civil War, Age of Ultron, Endgame. Top 3 live-action Joker costumes? I don't have a ranking because there haven't been 3 good ones. Marvel can't use Kingpin in movies because Sony doesn't let them. Why Sony doesn't let them, nobody knows. That, yeah, you said that last time, and I agree. It is strange, but it's still what I think they should do for Spider-Man 5, and I will continue to ask. That's why live-action Wolverine costumes. There's, well, I guess there was like 10 in the montage. I guess if I have to rank them, the brown suit, the yellow suit, and Old Man Logan. Top 3 live action Batman suits. I won't be whatever again and say the blue suit from the background of the Flash. So I'll say Pattinson's suit, Michael Keaton's suit, Val Kilmer's suit. I don't love that. Honestly, just those 2. I don't really like the Christian Bale Batman suit, if I'm being honest. The movies are so fantastic. It's one of the greatest trilogies of all time. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm like a hater of the trilogy. But the Bale's Batman suit is kind of the tangible thing that I can point to be like, that kind of encapsulates my issue with the trilogy as a whole, for how much it avoids being comic book movie, because it's so trying to be grounded and militaristic and realistic. There's the only flash of color is the gold belt, and I'm just not a fan of that. Damon Idris as the T'Challa continuation of Chadwick Boseman can work because he's not a big name, right? People know him. I don't think he's big yet. I don't think he's big yet. He's a very popular fan cast for Black Panther. I haven't seen him in anything, so I'm just, what I usually say is just if he's the best actor for the role, then definitely go for it, but I don't have any personal opinions on him. Ranking for the Thunderbolts members: Yelena, John Walker, Bucky, Red Guardian, Ghost. Count Sentry. I'm not gonna count Sentry because he was kind of the villain. So I know, but he's not a new Avenger. But you said Thunderbolts, not new Avengers. So yeah, I'm gonna say that. What are your? Do you have a ranking?
Probably Bucky, Yelena, John Walker, Ghost, and then Red Guardian.
We get a winter guard in the MCU. Is that a character or a team? Marvel Winter Guard. Looking at it right. Winter Guard. Team. Oh, it's Russia's team. Interesting. That could be cool. Liam Hemsworth is Beta Ray Bill. Do you need to get a name actor for Beta Ray Bill? Because I feel like it's all CGI. Maybe a voice actor, but I feel like you get just more of a smaller actor for Beta Ray Bill.
His Thor.
That is true. Oh, that's a good point. I had Joe muted for a second by accident. He said it might be just be saying that because Chris Hemsworth is Thor, and that's a good point. And that would be funny. I agree. Favorite X-Men cartoon? X-Men 97, for sure. Top 3 DC animated movies? Under the Red Hood, Throne of Atlantis, Judas Contract. Who do you think is better Rose Gallery, Spider-Man or Batman? Well, I'm going to say Batman, and Joe's going to say Spider-Man. So
yeah, I'm biased.
That's how it goes. Thoughts on dinosaurs to design Invincible Season 4? Don't know, because I don't look at Invincible leaks, because I don't know what happens in Invincible. Ranking for the What If seasons? I don't have a ranking for the What If seasons. Other than Season 1 is the best. After that, it's each episode's hit or miss. Favorite aura farming moment in a comic book movie? I don't have any. I'm not a guy who likes aura farming. I rather character moments and that sort of thing. It's my biggest issue with certain shows and movies, is that it becomes all about cool moments rather than actual character. Do you have one, Joe?
When the Batman is walking to the Penguin's upside down car.
All right, I think that's a good answer. I'll say that too. I'll say that too. Yeah, I'll agree with Joe and say Batman. Batman walking to the car. Yeah, that's pretty goodish. I guess that. All right, I'll give another one. I'll say that, and I'll also say Toby Spider-Man black suit hanging off of the window, the building reflection, in that iconic pose.
That's fair.
Probably those two. You got any questions, Lowell? Well, I appreciate you asking the questions, Hassan. We appreciate you keeping the interaction going. Oh, the stream is lagging again for some reason. Okay. Oh, we're back, I think. In case that was laggy and you guys didn't hear it, I just said appreciate you asking questions, Hasman, and keeping the interaction going. Hope they recast the MCU male White Tiger. Well, I don't think it'd be a recast of anything. It'd probably bring him back, but make him alive. I think they're gonna keep him dead. I think the point was to introduce the female White Tiger. And I think she's gonna be a White Tiger, sticking around as White Tiger. What are your thoughts on James Gunn's decision with Callow's parents? Without going into spoilers, because I don't want to. I try not to spoil the movies until they're on streaming or DVD. So without spoiling it, I don't mind it. There's precedent for that interpretation of the characters in the comics. I understand why some people might be upset at it, but I personally don't mind it, and I think it fits really well the story and theme that James Gunn was going for in the movie. Do you have any? Do you have different non-spoiler thoughts on that, Joe?
I've never been attached to his like biological parents, so I didn't know that was an issue until I heard the reaction after, personally. Yeah,
getting the Kents right is far more important. So even if I didn't like the Kal-El's biological parent stuff, I don't think it would hurt my opinion of the movie that much, because they got the Kents right, and that's what's more important. Mr. Male White Tiger, I mean, he was great. He was fantastic in Born Again, and I wouldn't mind seeing him again. I just don't think they're going to do that. Movie with Daredevil and Spider-Man teaming up against Kingpin will never happen unless the Spider-Man rights go back to Marvel somehow. Hey, I mean, that's not impossible, and that doesn't mean I'm going to stop saying that's what I want to see. We also thought it was impossible that Spider-Man would be in the MCU, and we also thought it was impossible that the X-Men and Fantastic Four would be in the MCU, but here we are. They all are. So I'm not going to stop asking for it. What's up, Tech Spider? How's it going, man? How's it Javier? How's it going? Basically, been so long. Miss your videos. Got to say, loving the new puppet style. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hoping to get videos soon. I started animating an actual video with the puppet, and it got all out of sync, so I might have to start from scratch, unfortunately. So it might be a little while until there's any videos consistently again. But know that I am working on them. I haven't just been doing nothing, even though there's been no videos for a while. I'm genuinely working on videos, but I want to put in the legwork now in the beginning so that things stay consistent and smooth in the future, rather than going right to posting videos and running into issues in the future, which causes videos to be not consistent again. But welcome, Dex Spider. Nice to have you here. Nice to see you. Joe's your top 3 episodes from each season of Arcane? Do you have 3 at the top of your head?
From season 2, the Echo's episode, without spoiling it, Echo's episode, I think, is the best of the show. The final episode in season 1, and then the first episode in season 1.
There you go. I low-key would love to see a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie. I would too, and I know that sounds kind of hypocritical with what I said about Punisher being in Spider-Man 4, but I think the difference is that Deadpool, like, having Deadpool being a PG-13 movie and being toned down can be a part of it, and can be part of the joke. Whereas, like I said, my fear is toning down Punisher after seeing this exact Punisher be more violent could be distracting. If this was the first appearance of Punisher, I don't think it'd be an issue. But I think it's an issue since it could be an issue since this is not the first time we're seeing this version of Punisher. Deadpool being toned down though can just be part of the joke, and I think that'd be really cool. There's a great episode of Ultimate Spider-Man that Deadpool's in, and they do Deadpool really well for being a kid show. So honestly, like a full movie like that, I would not mind at all. Do you have any thoughts on that one way or the other?
I don't know. I feel the opposite. I feel that Punisher works better than Deadpool would.
Really?
Yeah.
Top 3 Robins? Since you said Robins, I'm gonna think of him as Robin specifically, not just as the character as a whole. So as Robin, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Damian. Top 3 manga. What does that mean?
Like manga that turned into anime?
That's what my guess too. So I'm gonna say Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man in that order. I was literally thinking the other day of just how good Chainsaw Man is and how I'm so excited for the movie. What are your top 3? Wait, I want to guess. You know, well, I know your favorite is Dragon Ball. Or is it Naruto? No, your favorite's Naruto. Our other friend's favorite is Dragon Ball. Right? Am I not correct on that at least?
It's so hard to say. I don't know if Dragon Ball or Naruto would be my favorite.
You've seen both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. We can put them 1 and 2 and just not They're tied for first, so they're both 1 and 2 because you can't decide. And that's fair.
Well, there's 3 that's tied for first.
Okay, what's the third one? Is it it's not
third
AOT,
one-
is it? I don't think it is.
No, it's one called Tokyo Ghoul, which I really love.
Ah,
I grew up on Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
Now the manga is significantly better than the anime, but the first season of the anime is what I grew up on, so I'm quite biased towards that first season.
Okay, there you go. A full TVMA MCU Red Wolf Disney Plus series would be cool. Sure, I take your word for it. I don't have an opinion on them, but I take your word for it. A World's Finest movie would be so peak. It really would. It really would. I would not complain about a World's Finest movie. I hope we get one. I hope we get one. I think there should be a Batman movie first. Although I wouldn't complain if World's Finest came out before the DCU Batman. That wouldn't be the worst idea, just because we know Batman. And it actually, now that I talk about it out loud, it could be interesting if that's the case, because everyone knows Batman, right? You don't have to explain to people who Batman is and what his lore is and whatnot, right? So if we're seeing the DCU Batman, the DCU Gotham, and experiencing that for the first time with Superman through his eyes, a character that we've seen and are connected to, that could actually be interesting. Yeah, the answer just remains yes, it would be peak. Spider-Man is in the MCU for now, so he's unpredictable in what to do. You're totally right, but that doesn't change the fact that he is in the MCU. And that will never change. Like, Spider-Man will always be in Infinity War and Endgame. Homecoming, No Way Home, Far From Home, Brand New Day will always be in the MCU. Will always be MCU canon. So, doesn't change that fact. What are your thoughts on Crypto in Superman? I thought it was great. Loved. If I ever get a dog, he will be named Crypto. That was going to happen regardless, though. I've always been a Crypto fan. I grew up on the Crypto animated show. But yeah, I thought Crypto was great. What are your thoughts on Crypto?
I also love Crypto. I thought he was awesome. I thought that he would be in it a little more, but I'm not disappointed with how much he was in it.
I trust Marvel? I do too, Enzo. I do too. Ranking for the MCU phases. Okay, Phase 3 is still the best. Phase 3 is definitely the best. I am then going to put... And they're kind of tied, because, like I said it before, I don't remember which one ends and the other begins. Then I'm going to put Phase 4 and 5. Then Phase 2. Then Phase 1. Phase 1 is the worst, in my opinion. Mostly because it has some of my least favorite MC movies. It has Incredible Hulk. It has Thor. And Iron Man's not my least favorite MC movie. But I'm just not an Iron Man fan. So that doesn't help. So there's really only 2 movies in Phase 1 that I really like. Captain America: First Avenger. And the first Avengers movie. Phase 2 is kind of similar with Thor: The Dark World, with Iron Man 2, with Iron Man... I think Iron Man 3 is still Phase 2, right? And then Phase 2 still has some other great ones, though. You know, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron I really like. But Phase 3 is definitely the best. What's your remaining cast predictions for Doomsday? My remaining cast predictions for Doomsday are Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Brie Larson, I think are all definites. Then I think we also get Famke Janssen, Jean Grey. I don't think she was announced officially. Trying to think who else. I think Deadpool. But yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds. I think Hugh Jackman. Although the debate is, you know, will Hugh Jackman be playing the Deadpool, the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine? Will he be playing the Wolverine of the X-Men we're going to see in this movie? Is it the same Wolverine? You know? And I think after that, it's definitely... Halle Berry. I don't think she was announced, right? I think Halle Berry. And after that, it's kind of up for debate still. What's your ranking for the Mission Impossible movies? I've only seen Fallout, so I can only say Fallout. I haven't seen any other ones. Also, Joe had to leave, so let's thank Joe in the chat. But just for the sake of visuals, I'm going to turn the co-host thing off. Find that in my... There we go. Gotta say, very hyped for Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Marvel Tokon. Marvel been really killing it with video games. Yeah, the Cosmic Invasion isn't my cup of tea, but I can definitely see the appeal for sure. And Tokon I am excited for. I don't know how much I'll enjoy Tokon. I like fighting games, but I'm very much used to the fighting game style of Injustice and Mortal Kombat. Tokon seems to be very different. So, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm definitely gonna play it. I'm tempering my expectations just because I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but it's hype that there is a Marvel fighting game coming out. Just period. That is really exciting. What are your thoughts on the Superman Trunks? Love them. He should always have them. Batman should also have Trunks. Aquaman should also have Trunks. These suits without Trunks look not great. Plus one, Trunks, especially with Superman and Batman, makes sense for seeing more human and less intimidating to kids. Aquaman is a little more debatable, but having the top and the bottom of your suit be one color, only broken by a slightly different, a different colored small belt, still looks not great. Trunks and that breaking of the color, Cyclops should have Trunks as well. That breaking of color and breaking up the color like that goes so far. It goes so far. Your favorite Western animated show? Does that mean like favorite anime? If it means favorite anime, then Demon Slayer. Thoughts on the Fire and Ash trailer? Looks good. I'm excited for it. I've been a fan of these Avatar movies. I'm gonna go see it. I'm looking forward to it. Top 3 Superman villains: Lex Luthor, Bizarro, and Parasite. Hot take. I don't know why DC is making another live service game. Are they really? Or was that the one that got canceled? Oh, I didn't see it until just now. That is a wild choice. That is a wild choice indeed. The bold strategy, Cotton. Said Western. Does that mean American? If that means American, then favorite American animated show is Clone Wars. Yeah, definitely Clone Wars. Be fair, if done right, look, Marvel Rivals and Fortnite are possible, but if how they make it, no, it's like with everything, it depends on how it's executed for sure. Totally. All right, so I have caught up in the chat, so I'll wait a minute or two here to see if there's anything else that you guys would like me to discuss. Any other thoughts you want to put in the chat? Put in the chat. Hope the Predator Badlands director. Oh, message got retracted. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll wait another minute or two to see if there's anything else you guys like to discuss. So while I wait for some more chats, I just want to give you guys a little update on the channel and what's going on. So there aren't any big releases, Marvel or DC, for a couple weeks now until Peacemaker. I will be doing live streams for Peacemaker episodes. The first episode, I'm going to wait a couple days just so people have time to watch it. People might not even be aware that it's coming out. So the first episode of Peacemaker might be that Sunday, but also I might wait to do Peacemaker Season 1 with Season 2. Wait, it's not Season 1. Peacemaker Episode 1, I should say. Season 2, Episode 1, Peacemaker live stream will either be the Sunday after it releases, or I'll just combine the Episode 2 stream and also talk about Episode 1. But I will do live streams for each episode of Peacemaker. Really excited for that. So those are definitely happening. Outside of that, like I said earlier, I am still working on making videos with the puppet, making higher quality videos. But when I was trying to make it, when I did my first test for the video that I want to make, everything was out of sync and laggy. So I might have to start from the ground up again, which obviously means it'll take more time to get these videos out, but hopefully that means once the videos start releasing, they'll continue to release consistently. So it'll be a bit more of a wait, but hopefully the wait will be worth it. I am considering finishing my recast ranking series. In the meantime, I want to try to figure out, though, how long it's going to take to get the puppet videos working. That way I can release the recast ranking videos in a consistent manner that'll help lead up to the puppet videos. But just want to give you guys an update on everything with the channel moving forward. That's the immediate future update. What upcoming Disney animated movie sequel are you most excited for? Incredibles. Incredibles 3, just because the Incredibles 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, probably my second favorite movie of all time. And then Incredibles 2 is still really good. What's a character you'd love to see in Marvel Rivals? Cyclops. Cyclops and Daredevil are going to be my 2 answers. My top 3 Marvel characters are Cyclops, Captain America, and Daredevil. So, 2 out of 3 are already in the game. And then my 4th is Punisher. He's already in the game as well. So, yeah, Cyclops easily, and then Daredevil. Hope the Predator Badlands and the writer for the Prey series on Hulu. I think he directs some dope MC movies and write MCU series. Sure, I've heard great things about both. I have not seen either one. I've never seen a Predator project. So it's not because that I dislike it. It's just that I've never really been exposed to that universe and been a part of that fan base. But I've heard great things about both of them. The new Predator movie does look really good. And I heard great things about Prey. So I might get around to watching that. It's on my watch list, but I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Yeah, I have heard good things, and because of that, I'm sure he's a great director and great writer. So I'd be down if there's a project that he wants to do and it fits. Then I am down. Appreciate a question. So yeah, well, I appreciate it, Hasm. I appreciate the interaction, and I think that'll be it for this live stream, guys. Thank you everybody who's tuned in and chatted and watched. I really do appreciate it. So. Yeah, I just gave the updates on the channel, so stay tuned. As always, I'll keep you guys posted on my community page with updates about how things are going. Still might be a little bit of a wait for videos, but like I said, just know that I am working on them. I haven't abandoned this channel, nor have I given up on this channel. The exact opposite. I'm taking the time now to really put in the long work and effort. That way, once things start rolling, they continue rolling. So... might be a little bit of a wait, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in and chatting and interacting. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Great week. And be safe until I see you next time. And don't forget to be punk rock.